Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
Okay,
good.
so everyone, I want to welcome Catherine and Clayton. Catherine is the CEO of Bold Business Solutions, so she got to talk today how to ask for what you want. She's also a LinkedIn expert. She can teach you how to grow your business, how to connect to people, and grow your business through LinkedIn as well. So I want to welcome Catherine and Clayton to the High Performance Summit.
Hello, everybody. So, you know all that stuff you have? How much you weigh, the house you live in, the car you drive, the relationships you have, and how those relationships work, the business you have, and the customers you have, and the clients you have, and even, believe it or not, those clothes in your closet. All that stuff. Everything that makes up your life. Well, you better love it the way it is, because that's all it is ever going to be unless you learn to ask for more. So you're thinking to yourself, ask for more? What is she talking about? Who do I ask for more? Well, your boss is not going to give you a raise. You better learn to ask for more. Your clients are not going to just volunteer their money. You better learn to ask for more. You know those kids that you're raising? Well, they're not going to clean their dishes or make their bed. You better learn to ask. If you want a hug from your husband or your spouse or your friend, you better learn to ask. You get what you ask for in life. You know, there was a quote from Jim Rome, and he had a really great quote, and he is a great leader, or he was a great leader. Good things never interrupt us. We have to go after them. And that means asking. If you don't have anything in your life, you don't have the job you want, the partner you want, or the money you want, guess what? You didn't ask for it. Wait. Some of you right now out there are saying, well, Catherine Ann, that is not right. The reason I don't have it is because I don't have enough money. I don't live in the right city. I wasn't raised this way. I'm a woman. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my gosh. All the excuses go on and on. And as a business coach, I hear this all the time. The minute you tell somebody they don't have it because they didn't ask for it, what do you think comes up and always comes back to me? All the excuses of why their life isn't the way they wanted it to be. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners. These people always tell me the reason they are not making their quota, the reason they're not making the money they want, the reason their commissions are down is because their product is priced wrong, or they can't find the right clients, or the competition is better. It goes on and on and on. Think about it. Is that you? Do you make up those excuses? How many times did you ask for the sale last week? Well, how many times? I'm looking for a number here. Think in your head how many times you actually asked for the sale. How many people did you ask to buy? I am Catherine Ann Clayton, and I am a business strategist coach, and I teach people how to learn to ask and how to take their business to the next level and start making 6 or 7 figures. But the one thing that you really need to know about asking is 4 simple things. And then I'm going to jump into LinkedIn and tell you why I think LinkedIn is your answer. So the number one thing, you don't know what to ask. You get stuck in, what do I ask? What do I say? I'm scared. All that fear that comes up in your mind and all those stories that we create. And you don't know your business well enough to ask the right questions. Is that you out there? If that's you out there, raise your hand, shake your head. If you're embarrassed, don't raise your hand. It doesn't matter to me because you have to learn to ask. The second thing that you need to learn in the asking situation is, who are you going to ask? You need to identify your target market. Now, let me talk to you about my son. My son is 15, and you know, he has been a crazy, crazy child since he was born. He is the kid that is pulling on your coattail or your shirt in the grocery store going, mama, 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 mama. He started out saying mama, mama, mama when he was about 2 or 3, asking for things that he wanted. Now, how many of you as parents go out there, and because somebody is drilling you and drilling you and drilling you and asking you, you finally go like, oh my gosh, here, have the lollipop. Well, I did that with my son. And now at 15, he has mastered wearing us down for the ask. Now, he does it very politely because there's always a please behind it or a thank you afterwards. But he's learned the power of asking. He knows how to turn the situation and make us be the ones that really want to give it to him. It's quite crazy. It's all about connection. It's all about creating connection and learning who to ask and when to ask so that you will eventually get the answers that you want. Now, it doesn't mean that you go out there if you're an entrepreneur and say, hey, I want you to buy my stuff. Or if you're a real estate agent, hey, there's a house over here. I want you to buy it right now. Give me the money. It doesn't work like that. You've got to create those connections and massage the relationships. You know, I had a client and we were talking about our kids, and she told me the other day that her daughter has mastered the ask. Her daughter wanted this pair of shoes that were ridiculously expensive. And so she started showing her mom these shoes and how pretty they were, and then finding stuff on, you know, Instagram, how everybody's wearing them and this, that, and the other. And then 6 weeks later, she said, hey, Mom, I've got half the money for those shoes. Will you go in half with me? I've really been saving up. And she started telling her story, and she started enrolling her mom in buying those shoes. And guess what happened? She got the shoes that afternoon. It was awesome. So you need to know who to ask. You need to ask a true professional, and don't ask broke people how to get rich. That's a problem in this entrepreneur space. We go in there and we ask broke people to do all these strategies and all these things for our business that we're not even ready for. You know, with my coaching clients, I teach the stages of business. And if you're not in stage 3 of business, believe it or not, you don't need a funnel. You don't need all these crazy things until you go through the right stages of business. So you do need to know what stage of business you're in. The next thing about the asking is that you get to know that it's going to be an investment. It's going to be an investment of 3 things. It's going to be an investment of your energy, of your time, and of money. So let's talk a little bit about the energy. The energy means that you've got to come and you've got to bring the energy when you're talking to people and when you're connecting. You've got to be excited. Let's just imagine if I came on stage and I said, hello, I'm going to talk to you about the power of the ask. I wasn't looking at you. I didn't have energy. You would be like, oh, I don't want to work with her. She has no energy. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, energy. Because when you bring people up and you lift them up, they want what you're having. Remember that show, When Harry Met Sally? And you know, the scene in the cafe where Sally is having a little bit excited. This is a, you know, show that we don't want to talk about that. But she did the whole scene and she was excited and she was making all these noises. And the old lady said, I'll have what she's having. How awesome is that? So remember, your energy goes into when you're creating clients. And time, it's going to take time. It's going to take time around your family. It's going to take time for you to build it. And it's going to take time for you to perfect it. Now, the internet, in my opinion, has ruined us, because you see all these things on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and it's like, sign up for this thing, and I made $1 million in 3 days. Well, is it possible? Yes, everything is possible 100% of the times. 100% possibility 100% of the times. However, is it probable? Did somebody make $1 million the first time out of their gate in 3 days? Probably not. They probably did not do that. And that's really okay. That is what's called marketing. And that is definitely what they are doing and showing you how to market your business. And then the last thing, that you're going to have money. You're going to have some kind of money to invest in your business so that you can level up. I remember the first coach that I hired, I was like appalled at how much she cost. And it was, now I look back at it and I'm like, that is not a lot of money. However, it was a lot of money to me when I just left a huge corporate job. I just walked out of making about $20,000 to $25,000 a month. And I left that career behind because I wanted to be a present parent. I wanted to stay home and raise my children. And it happened when my daughter looked at me one day and I was trying to help her out. And I said, "Hey, Emma Catherine, let mommy help you." And she looked at me and said, "Mommy, you get to work. You're so grumpy and mean. I want my daddy to help me." Well, you can imagine, if you're a parent or if you're an aunt or uncle or grandparent, how that made me feel. I was devastated. And I knew at that moment I was going to get out of that corporate job. And that's what I did. Didn't know what I was going to do, but I walked away. So about the ask, the great thing about LinkedIn is that it is a plethora of people that you get to ask. It starts, in fact, with an ask. So LinkedIn, I believe personally, is the answer to everybody's problems. Now, what I love about LinkedIn, believe it or not, when I first started on LinkedIn, I spent about an hour and a half working on LinkedIn because I didn't know what I was doing. I had a coach, teaching me what to do. And I was really kind of, engaging myself and jumping in the mud and getting it done. Now, 6 years later, I do LinkedIn about 30 minutes a day, if that. And all that time is creating connections and talking back and forth to people and asking questions, building that question so that I can ask. So let me tell you this, that when you get on LinkedIn, you have to make sure of 3 things. And I'm going to go through those rather quickly. I dive deeper in my coaching with this, but I also have a freebie that you guys get that will help you with this at the end of this, if you stay till the end. So what I want you to do is, first you have to look at your profile. And that's a secret, having your profile optimized, because that is the first thing that people see. That's the first thing that people see when they come to LinkedIn. You get to think outside the box. You get to do things differently. Now, LinkedIn allows you to create your profile like a resume. However, I decided that I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be different. I wanted to stand out from the crowd and be different. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this. Imagine that we are out of COVID times. The world is open. There are no more masks. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? Anyhow, we're in Central Park and we're walking together. Just imagine the beautiful trees, and it's a spring day and everything's coming up. And we turn, something caught our eye. And what caught our eye was some man upside down with his legs crossed like this, almost like a yoga pose. And he's just chilling out. He's just a dude in the park doing yoga. What do? You walk down and you go, oh my gosh, what is he doing? And you start staring. That's how I want you to create your profile. That's what I want you to do so that you can be different, so that you can get out of the sea of sameness, which is the resume format. Even, and I know you're sitting here thinking, you're like, Catherine Ann, I'm a real estate agent. I'm a professional. I am not going to do that. And that's fine. However, it's been proven to work. All my clients have increased their income tremendously. In fact, I even have a client that lives in Manhattan. He had an idea and he wanted to start working on LinkedIn and create a program. He didn't know how he was going to get there. He hired me a year ago. And in 52 days of us starting to work together, he created $12,700. Now, a year later, and we just signed a new contract to renew. Now, a year later, he has walked out of his Manhattan job, and we all know Manhattan is expensive to live in. He has 4 employees, and he is so hyper excited about his business and where it's going. And that's all from turning LinkedIn upside down and using the strategy of the ask. So I always say to my clients, when everybody is zigging, you want to zag. So that's what I mean about turning LinkedIn upside down with your profile. Now, you're more than welcome to go over, when the conference is over, to go over to my profile. It's under Catherine Ann Clayton, Lady Leverage. And friend me, tell me that you met me on the High Success Summit, and I will definitely, and it's not a friend, excuse me there, language here. I just talked about Facebook a minute ago. Connect with me. Tell me that you found me on here, and we'll talk and we'll start having a conversation. I would love that for you. So you want to create a sexy profile on a very unsexy platform. Now, I know that you're all going to understand this. Your profile is prime real estate. Think about that house on the beach, beachfront. It's not a public beach, it's your own beach, and that's prime real estate, and you're going to pay much, much money for it. So I'm going to tell you one of my best nuggets on the profile. Now, if you look at me, like I told you earlier, I said my name was Catherine Ann Clayton, Lady Leverage. So in the first name, I put Catherine Ann Clayton. And for my last name, I put Lady Leverage. That's one of those things that people go, what? Lady Leverage? Is she a lady? Is she Queen of England's cousin or sister or granddaughter? No, it just got attention. So the secret number 2 that I have for you is my 3C method. Write that down if you're taking notes. 3C method. It is going to create top tier clients for you. You ready? All right, here we go. All right, let's go. This means connect, chat, convert. So what we want to do is we want to search for that market, which was what I talked about earlier, is you don't know who you're talking to. You've got to search for those people on LinkedIn. You're going to connect with them. And a little tip here, when you connect, you don't just push connect. LinkedIn will give you a little form on the paper that says, not even a form, but it's a thing where you can, I suggest that you connect with these people. Don't just connect. Go and search them and make sure that they are your ideal clients. Now, LinkedIn allows you to have 30,000 connections, but I'm going to tell you something that I learned from my very first coach, and I didn't like it. She told me, you can have 30,000 connections, connect with everybody. Well, for me, after really analyzing my business, I wanted that right client. I wanted quality over quantity. So before you just go connect, look and see if they're your right client. Look and see if they can help you do what you need to do to move further, or look and see if they might be your right perfect client. So connect with them, and then you're going to start chatting with them. And chatting with them is great. When you push connect, it's going to say, do you want to write a message to them? Please say yes. That's another form of connection. That's another form of asking. And I'm going to give you a simple way that I connect, and it's so easy. It's, hey, Jason, I saw your profile on LinkedIn. If you looked at it, be honest and authentic. Would love to connect with you here. I think we have a lot of things in common. Or I want to talk to you about this, or I see that you're in this company. There's so many ways that you can connect, but end it with a question. My question is, what do you think? Thanks, Catherine Ann. And obviously, if they connect back with me, then they thought it was a great idea. And I get to respond to them. Even if they just connected and didn't write me back, I respond back and I say, thank you so much for the connection. And again, I ask another question. Tell me a little bit more about your business. I looked at your profile and I see that you're in this company. I looked at your profile and I see that you sell real estate. I looked at your profile and saw that you were an entrepreneur. Tell me what you do as an entrepreneur. Then it gets them talking and you're having this conversation back and forth. And the great thing about LinkedIn is people are truly only on there about 42 minutes a day. So the conversation may take a little bit longer than like texting or a direct message through Facebook, but it's quality conversations. And so what you do after you've had a bunch of back and forth, you simply say, hey, I love talking to you, and I would love to have a conversation in real time. Do you mind getting on a Zoom? Do you mind if I call you? Do you mind if I send you my calendar so we can talk? Again, I'm asking for the yeses. And every micro yes is a yes to further your business and to enroll them in your program, or to find a speaker for a summit like Jason did, or to speak at a summit. It enrolls them. So 3C method: connect, chat, convert. Now, the last secret that I have, okay, is posting for profits. I'm going to go through this really quickly because a lot of you know this and a lot of you don't know this. However, I'm going to go through it very quickly. There are 3 types of effective posts on LinkedIn, okay? So the first post is a direct call to action. If you notice in LinkedIn, when you make a post, you may invite them to click on a link. Here's a little trick that nobody will tell you. So listen, got your ears on? All right. Don't put a link in there that's going to take them off the platform unless it's your calendar. If you put a link in there to a YouTube video, you're not going to be shown as much to your people. If you put a link in there that takes them to Facebook, you're not going to be shown to as many people. So you do a post and you have a pretty picture, or however you want to do it. You ask a question and then you put a link in there. I always use my calendar link because that way, if people click it, even if they click it by mistake, they're like, I really want to talk to that chick. I really like her and I want to talk to her and see what's up with her business. And so they'll schedule on my calendar. You can also have videos on there. Videos they have just rolled out the live video, which is hard to get on. I've been on LinkedIn for 6 years and they're still not approving me. I don't know what their basis is on approving. I don't know if they're only approving, but I love being able to have videos that I can upload on there. I take my phone sometimes when I'm out with my kids, sometimes when I'm doing a walk or a run, and I just do a video. I do a morning mojo show and I load those up. It's easy. I download the videos and load them up. And then the best thing that is highly engageable is your articles. You are able to write articles. And basically an article is simply a short blog with a call to action. Tell them exactly what to do, because people don't know what to do. So you get to tell them what to do. So some of the things I'm going to tell you to not do on LinkedIn, okay? Do not post any motivational quotes. LinkedIn is a business platform, and you won't get a lot of engagement on them unless you're like a big, huge guru like Gary Vee or Tony Robbins. And so it's kind of a waste of time. Don't schedule posts with Buffer or Hootsuite. Yes, I know it's easier, but it's not effective and you won't be seen. So those are two really big tips that I want you to know. Now I have a question for you. Have I overwhelmed you today? Are you going, oh my gosh, the ask, I don't know what to do. Then she talked about LinkedIn. Oh my gosh. Oh goodness. So I have some questions for you. How many people in here are not on LinkedIn? Shake your head or raise your hand. Okay, great. Well, the average salary on LinkedIn is $107,000 a year. And these people are spending their money somewhere. So why don't they spend it with you? Also, LinkedIn is 277% more effective for lead generation than Facebook or Twitter. Think about that. 277% more effective. So I know that I have taken some time. I hope that you've learned a lot, but I've also taken some time to prepare a great checklist for you. It is called the Client Building Profile Secret. And what I can do is I can put it right here. Oops, let me see. I can put it right here in the chat for you, and you guys can get it if that is okay with Jason. And you can download that, and you can, the only cost to you is your email. I'm going to be honest, but this is going to help you take yourself out and do things a little differently. It's going to help you create that great profile that you need to do. But I also know that some of you really don't need a checklist. And you're thinking, you know what? I need a little bit more time with Catherine Ann. And so what I have offered you in this, when you download this, is a session to work with me, a session to spend about 30 minutes time with me so that we can go over what you're wanting to create in your life, how much money you want to create. It could be $500 in a network marketing company. It could be $1 million in sales in real estate. It could be anything that you want to create. I can help you create that. And we will talk about it, and I'll give you some tips on that, and we will move forward. I can help you build what I call is a profit pyramid and send you on your way. So, however, I only have 7 of those spots here. I have 7 of those spots. So you definitely want to get that download fast enough and be one of the top 7. And we also can map out your plan so that you know how many clients you need to get, how much time it's going to take, and where you're going to go. Because as a business strategy, I map out every single month for my clients their numbers and how many people they need to talk to. I have a really cool formula that I do that says if you want 4 new clients at this price, you have to call this many people. But everybody is different, and it's not something that I can teach you here. It's something that I have to do individually, and I'll be happy, write that down, to do that with you. So before I end this, I want to ask you, are you asking the people in your life and in your business the right questions to get what you want? If you never ask for what you want, you're never going to get it. Thank you, everybody.